Golden sunlight pours through the towering ancient jungle as a fragile newborn Gaur calf named Guro lies trembling within the tall grass beside his massive mother. Warm humid air rises around the newborn while mysterious sounds echo endlessly through the dense tropical forest surrounding him. Tiny breaths escape from little Guro as his chest rises and falls heavily beneath the glowing jungle light. His furry ears twitch nervously while distant animal calls drift through the ancient wilderness around the hidden calf. Guro struggles desperately to lift his tiny head above the thick grass for the very first time. Beside him, his enormous mother gently licks his wet fur clean beneath the warm golden sunlight filtering through the trees. Soon instinct pushes the newborn calf to stand. Thin, fragile legs wobble violently beneath his body while mud and crushed leaves shift beneath his hooves. Again and again young Guro loses balance and collapses softly back into the dense jungle grass. But survival inside the ancient forest demands strength from the very first breath. Determined to live, little Guro pushes hard against the muddy earth once more until finally he stands proudly beside his towering mother. Warm sunlight glows across the newborn calf while his mother watches protectively from only inches away. Soon Guro drinks milk eagerly, gaining strength for the dangerous journey waiting beyond the safety of the tall grass. He takes his very first clumsy steps across the muddy forest floor while giant ancient trees surround him like silent guardians. Curious and innocent, Guro lowers his wet nose to sniff colorful flowers blooming beneath the jungle canopy. A bright butterfly flutters gracefully around his face while the amazed calf watches the tiny creature in wonder. But hidden within the bushes, death is already stalking him. Glowing eyes appear silently through the darkness as a pack of dull wild dogs watches young Guro closely. The predators creep lower through the tall grass, moving silently toward the vulnerable calf beneath the humid jungle air. Soon the hungry pack spreads outward, completely surrounding and frightening little Guro from every direction. Terror fills his eyes as vicious gnolls bare sharp teeth and growl aggressively around him. Then suddenly one ghoul lunges violently through the air aimed directly at the trapped calf. Panic explodes through Guro's body as he turns desperately trying to escape the attacking pack. Snapping jaws barely miss the back of his legs while dust and leaves scatter wildly through the forest floor. And the final second salvation arrives. Guro's massive mother steps directly between the predators and her child like an unstoppable wall of muscle and horns. She unleashes an earth-shaking roar that echoes violently across the ancient jungle. The furious mother lowers her giant curved horns, appearing to kill anything threatening her predator. Another ghoul leaps high through the air, attempting to bypass her and reach terrified young Guro. But with explosive force the giant mother Gaur launches the predator violently into the jungle air. The defeated ghoul crashes helplessly through the forest while trembling Guro hides safely behind his mother's powerful legs. She stomps the muddy ground furiously, sending vibrations and thrilling growls through the jungle beneath the terrified predators. Realizing they cannot defeat the enraged mother, the ghoul pack finally scatters and disappears back into the forest darkness. Slowly she turns toward little Guro and gently nudges him affectionately while the frightened calf presses close against her chest. Time passes through the tropical jungle, transforming Guro into a larger and more adventurous young calf. Now more confident, Guro follows the mighty herd through dense green valleys hidden deep inside the ancient wilderness. Heavy hooves sink into thick, sticky mud while humid jungle heat rises around the moving herd. The long migration exhausts the young calf, but Guro refuses to fall behind his family. Soon the herd reaches a massive sparkling river cutting directly through the dense forest. Curious and thirsty, young Guro steps cautiously toward the cool flowing water beneath the blazing tropical sun. He lowers his head peacefully to drink while tiny ripples spread gently across the river surface. But beneath the dark murky depths, another predator already watches him silently. A gigantic crocodile glides slowly through the water while cold eyes lock directly onto young Guro standing at the riverbank. Only the reptile's rough green eyes break the surface as it moves closer and closer toward the unaware cat. Then suddenly enormous jaws explode from the river beside him. The crocodile slams its powerful jaws directly onto Guro's leg with terrifying force. Pain surges through the young cat as he screams desperately while water erupts violently around him. The massive crocodile drags struggling Guro deeper into the rushing current while the terrified cat thrashes helplessly against the deadly current. Blood slips beneath his hood while the river churns wide around the brutal struggle. Then thunder arrives. A gigantic male Gaur standing on the riverbank hears the cries of young Guro and instantly charges into the water. Father Gaur crashes powerfully through the river, creating enormous waves as he races toward the trapped calf. His deafening roar shakes the entire jungle while the crocodile still clings tightly onto Guro's leg beneath the water. Then with explosive force the father stomps his giant hooves violently beside the predator. The tremendous impact shocks the crocodile and forces the monster to loosen its grip on the terrified young Guro. Immediately the mighty father swings his enormous head and drives the giant reptile violently away from his son. Defeated and overwhelmed, the crocodile dives back into the dark depths and disappears beneath the rushing river. Exhausted but alive, trembling Guro finally climbs safely back onto the muddy riverbank while his father gently guides him toward safety. Seasons continue passing through the ancient jungle, transforming young Guro into a powerful teenage Gaur. Sharp dark horns begin growing proudly from his head while thick muscles slowly ripple beneath his dark skin. Now stronger and fearless, teenage Guro stretches upward to feed on fresh green leaves hanging high above the forest floor. He walks confidently through thorny jungle undergrowth while sunlight glows across his growing horns. But hidden high within the branches above, another deadly hunter watches silently. A massive leopard crouches low upon a thick tree limb while yellow eyes lock directly onto teenage Guro below. The predator climbs silently downward through the tree, keeping its deadly gaze fixed upon the grazing young Gaur. Muscles tighten beneath spotted fur as the leopard prepares for the perfect ambush. Then suddenly the giant cat launches violently through the air with claws extended directly toward Guro. Teenage Gaur throws his head upward in shock just as razor-sharp claws nearly slash across his face. Instinct saves him. Guro leaps backward at the final second while the flying leopard crashes heavily into the dirt where he had stood moments earlier. The entire jungle erupts with chaos. Hearing the commotion, the enormous surrounding Gaur herd charges instantly toward teenage Guro through clouds of dust and leaves. Seconds, dozens of giant Gaurs form an impenetrable wall of horns and muscle, completely surrounding the frightened young calf. The leopard stares upward in frustration at the impossible fortress protecting Guro from every direction. Realizing it cannot defeat the united giants, the predator finally retreats back into the shadows of the jungle defeated. Time continues its relentless march through the ancient wilderness, transforming teenage Guro into a colossal fully grown king of the forest. Sunlight gleams brilliantly across the massive deadly curved horns of adult Guro while enormous muscles ripple beneath his thick black hide. Every step shakes the jungle floor as the mighty giant walks confidently through the ancient forest. Dust explodes upward whenever his giant hooves strike the earth beneath him. Now feared by every predator, adult Guro rules the ancient jungle with overwhelming strength and fearless power. Then one dark fog-covered evening, destiny finally arrives. A gigantic Bengal tiger emerges slowly from the jungle shadows while glowing orange stripes flicker through the darkness around him. The enormous predator growls deeply while staring directly into the fearless eyes of giant Guro. Neither titan retreats. The tiger circles silently searching for weakness while Guro carefully tracks every movement with cold unwavering focus. Then suddenly the Bengal tiger explodes into a full charge across the jungle floor. Adult Guro plants his massive hooves deep into the earth, preparing for the violent collision. Directly onto the muscular back of Guro. Razor-sharp fangs attempt to pierce the thick neck of the mighty forest creature. But adult Guro unleashes a deafening roar that shakes the ancient jungle itself. Massive shoulder muscles bulge violently beneath his hide while he bucks and twists with unstoppable force, trying to throw the predator free. Clings desperately onto the raging giant while dust and leaves explode across the battlefield around them. Then with one final overwhelming surge of power, Guro violently launches the massive Bengal tiger completely through the jungle area. The defeated predator crashes heavily into the dirt far away from the unstoppable king. Breathing heavily, giant Guro stomps the ground furiously and points his deadly horns directly toward the falling tiger. Bengal tiger scrambles desperately back into the darkness of the jungle. Victorious beneath the ancient trees, Guro stands proudly as the undisputed ruler of the forest. No longer the fragile newborn trembling beneath the tall grass, Guro now reigns as a legendary giant feared by every predator of the wild. From a helpless cat hunted by ghouls and crocodiles to a mighty king powerful enough to defeat a Bengal tiger, Guro's journey is forged through strength, courage, family, and relentless survival.